that how modern families always interact nowadays? It doesn't always appear to be the case. I personally believe that families are a great support system, and I found my conception of family was very similar to the Ugandan concept of family. In fact, I saw a much more integrated family structure that translated into greater community interaction. Communities are supposed to be unified, but I've never really felt that my neighborhood in the US is like family. However, my experience in Uganda showed me a side of community that I'd never seen before, and this distinction really resonated with me. Coming into Uganda, I did not know what to expect, but the one thing I was most anxious about was my homestay and what my host family would be like. How would I react to this simple lifestyle, the mosquito nets, the pit latrine? But my host family made sure I was well taken care of. They really treated each other with respect and made me feel a part of the family. Although I never got to meet the father because he worked in Kampala, the mother of the family filled both conventional roles of the matriarch and patriarch. She would take care of the house and her children, but she also looked after everyone and directed how the house was run. But the whole family worked together very well. For example, her work was made much easier by Somaya, her oldest daughter. She would clean, cook, and take care of her sisters. She made the food almost every night I was there. All of my host mother's brothers also lived in or around the home. They provided support for their sister and also provided for the entire family with their video store across the street. And of course, there was a little baby doctor. They called him Doc because they wanted him to grow up to become a doctor. And Shayla and Anisha, the two youngest daughters, also did many of the household chores such as cleaning. Of course, they were also able to find time to have fun with one another. They were incredibly resourceful when it came to playtime. They taught me an interesting game that was a cross between Monkey in the Middle and Dodgeball. Everyone was expected to do their fair share of work in order to keep things running smoothly, though. Even when we lost power one night, everyone kept doing their work. In Chanamukaka, the village we worked in, the children were no different. They would complete several tasks as well, such as trekking to the well for water several times a day and carrying them back in heavy jerry cans. Having experienced carrying just one of those, I can truly appreciate the effort that goes into obtaining water. Clearly, children play a large role in the household. In general, individuals in large families depend on each other greatly for support. It was no different in Uganda. They relied on the resourcefulness of each other to get work accomplished. What surprised me was people were so well integrated in Chimanya, the specific neighborhood I stayed in, Masaka. They all knew each other, and there was a very strong sense of community between everyone. I could not imagine such a scene in my neighborhood back in Gaithersburg, with everyone eating dinner together. In my neighborhood in Gaithersburg, families are fairly isolated from one another, but in Masaka, the family plays an important role in community building. In Chanamukaka, the women's group worked together to accomplish tasks. They extended beyond their own blood family and used each other's resources for aid, just like a regular family. For me, it was incredible to see how the entire community seemed like one family. I think that the members of REAP recognize that the family serves as the base for all community involvement. REAP, which stands for Renewed Efforts to Alleviate Poverty, is a local organization that we work with while in Masaka. We believe that if all members of the family, husband, wife, and children, are not included in a project, it is hard to build a cohesive unit. I think that Paul and Molly, two of the leaders of REAP, were incredibly successful at implementing projects because they are originally from the local villages. For example, Molly was originally from Chanamukaka, the village we worked in. Since they could appreciate how the community functions like a family, they were able to work with the members of the community as if they were working with their own brother or sister. Similarly, I remember one night when a member in my host family's community passed away. Even though they did not know the person extremely well, my host family attended the funeral and mourned as if they had lost a member of their own family. I think that the hospitality and friendliness that stems from this family dynamic can play an important role in community development everywhere. Last semester in our global leadership class, we learned about asset-based community development, which dictates that one should approach community development by identifying the assets of a community rather than its deficiencies. In this case, the strong ties between everyone were used advantageously. In this way, the women's group Eagle Coli became a family on their own because they look out for each other's interests. This would not be as easily applied in our communities because individual interests are more stressed. I think one of the main differences between my community in Gaithersburg and the community in Chanamukaka are the people's willingness to work with one another, and this can make a huge difference in community development. Therefore, community development would have to be approached very differently between our communities in suburban Maryland and the communities in Masaka. While our communities have other great assets, I think it was interesting to see how most of our communities lack this trait that is found in most of the communities in Masaka. I think this has shown me that even though our communities in the US have several tools and technology to achieve development, we could also learn a lot from how members of communities in Masaka treat each other like family. Only being there for a week, I felt like I was already part of the family. Seeing how my roommate Scott, who was an intern also working with the Foundation for Sustainable Development, was being treated like a brother by my host family after only 5 weeks, could only make me imagine what a longer stay would have provided. It's one of the reasons that I really want to go back. I love the familial atmosphere there, and I think that I still have a lot to learn about the role of family in community development. Nonetheless, I still think I took a lot away from this week-long experience. I learned a lot about the culture, the people, the challenges of development, and most of all, the importance of the family dynamic in community development. Now I know that the key to building a strong community is having a strong base support system. Everyone should be there for one another. So I'll never forget the incredible people I met. Now maybe I can actually get to know some of my own neighbors. Who knows, maybe I'll meet someone like my host brother, Ronald.